I was a financial advisor. I was a guy that was supposed to tell you how to build your credit and build your wealth. And I went bankrupt in 2017. $39,235 in debt, and also having been the one that I was supposed to tell people how to turn around their lives. Odd, isn't it? The person you expect to guide you financially ends up filing bankruptcy because they couldn't manage their own finances. How did I get there? Well, I started a business without having a real business plan. I was a good salesperson at a car dealership, making some good W 2 income. And I was like, I think I could do this at a higher level instead of just catching people by the time they get to the dealership and saying, like, whoa, here we go. Let's try to fix your finances then. Maybe I could do it earlier. And so I spent a lot of time studying for the Series 7, understanding how it all worked, talking to people about financial planning, and getting ready, getting this license, and thinking people would just come to me. I wouldn't have to do any work. I would just be flooded with business. People already knew me. It'd be a cinch. And so the decision to file was interesting. So if you're not familiar with it, the Chapter 7 is the bankruptcy you file where it pretty much wipes out all your debt because a judge goes and tells you, hey, I've actually reviewed everything. It doesn't look like you could repay any of this debt without significant harm. We're going to wipe it away. 13 is a little easier to get because the 13 is saying, hey, the way this debt is structured is a problem. We're going to restructure it for you in a way that will work while the trustees oversee it. And bada boom, bada bing, you'll have a lower payment and you have a period of time to get everything satisfied and, get everything paid off. So why did I choose the 7? At the time, was trying to be a financial advisor and also work part-time at FedEx to pay everything. But between that and trying to manage a car payment, I was like, well, I'm not making any money. And at the time, I was looking to get married. So I was like, well, it doesn't make sense to get married and bring this person into all of my debt. Why don't I get rid of it? I can have a fresh, clean start. And because I already have a car and I didn't intend to buy a house anytime soon, I should be fine and I can rebuild as time goes on. The weird thing about being bankrupt is that you actually have to think about credit differently because no one really wants to lend to you. So then you have to try to figure out a way to show you're responsible without technically being responsible. It's like when you try to apply for a job and they say that, oh, we want someone with experience, but no one wants to give you experience. It's always kind of weird. So for me, it was nice because I actually happened to follow a specific credit union. Being in Ohio, for me, it was Right Pat. And they gave me a small loan for me to attend an education academy to get a job in software sales. It cost me about $7,000. And so they did that loan. I ironically ended up having my then wife co-sign, and I paid that loan back over, I want to say a year and a half off the top of my head. And paying that one loan off let them realize, oh, hey, I'm responsible. That, and then I used Self, which was one of those secured lending platforms where you put $50 in every month. They make it a 12-month CD, and then they give you all the money back and they report the payment history. I was doing a lot with Experian Boost. And between all of those things, eventually I got to the point where not only was I able to pay off that loan, but Right Pat was willing to give me a credit card, which I thought was amazing because I never thought I'd get a credit card again. And so for me, what it kind of taught me is like, different institutions have different tiers. So I lost my A tier status. I went from 740 all the way down to 500 when I filed the bankruptcy. And so I couldn't get a card. I couldn't use my Amex, couldn't use my Chase. Kind of hurt because I was used to that level of prestige, but I had to rebuild with someone that would take a risk on me, which is, the credit unions, some of I call them scratch and dent lenders, where it's like your Credit Ones and things like that, your OneMains, and then using those free tools to kind of boost my score back up. Uh, but why this matters and why this channel matters is I tell people that debt is negotiable. So while bankruptcy is something people tell you, oh, never do that, it's awful. There's a lot of successful men in this country and women that have used bankruptcy as a tool to restructure debt within their companies and sometimes even personally to give themselves a way forward. The example I would give you is that if you were walking down a path and you were carrying 50 to 100 pounds on your back, if that weight is going to crush you and make it so you can't walk forward, it doesn't matter if you have gourmet food and supplies for 10 to 15 weeks, you're going to die. And so it's better for you to cut the weight and start over and at least trying to find things as you go than for you to be dragged under. Or maybe if you don't like the idea of a trail, just think about if you have an anchor on your leg and you're swimming, even if that anchor is all your earthly belongings and things that are really important to you, you're the most important thing, so you've got to survive. So the reason why I talk about this on this channel and everything else is a couple of reasons. One, you don't have to be perfect. You can start a business, you can mess up, go bankrupt, blow up your whole financial situation. But as long as you're willing to learn and keep moving and treat it as an event and not your life, you can move forward. Other reason is at this point in life, that was 2017. We're not even 10 years removed. Now I have a new house that I lived in. I've had multiple houses. I've bought multiple cars. I've had investment properties, credit cards, lines of credit. All of those things happened within 2 to 3 years of after that bankruptcy was over. So the nice thing is you can rebuild. You can always rebuild. And so for us at this channel, what our goal is to make sure that you understand you are the controlling factor of your life and that everything else is a tool or a means to an end, and you got to be willing to use it. So hopefully this helped. Just again, me sharing my story, not giving you financial advice, not trying to tell you to go file, but just something to let you know that there is a way, in multiple ways, for you to recover and to move forward.